Welcome, Fundamentals of Design class. This is Flower Slideshow 7 of 9, and we're starting off with a greenery called Nandina. Nandina is one of the most common plants that grows around the world, and it's really pretty in the fall because it has tiny leaves that are going from green to yellow to orange to red, and it also has berries, so that's another reason that it's very common to use it in the fall. The next plant on our slideshow is an Azalea, and although I don't carry them very often because I always kill them here at this shop, lots of florists carry them, and they do actually really well here on the Oregon coast. Azaleas and rhodies are in the same family, so they like our cool wet weather. I always kill them because I fail to water them, so that's my problem. They come in whites, pinks, reds, almost a fuchsia-y purple color. And most of the time, the plant itself runs around $30, and then in a nicer pot, they run around $50. In a cheap basket, probably $40, $45. The next plant in our slideshow is kale, and this is the kind of kale that is cut for ornamental use. It comes in whites, lavenders, and greens, and it's used a lot in the wintertime. And it retails for around $5 a stem, sometimes 5 to 7, I would say. Lysimachia is a wonderful flower that has a long, curved, linear shape. And I told you last week that there was a flower that was very, very similar to Veronica, and it is Lysimachia. I just couldn't think of the name of it. It comes in whites, pinks, and purples, and generally it runs $2 or $3 a stem, and it's mostly in the wintertime. So last week we only had 11 items on our slideshow, and we were supposed to have 12. Cedar was the one item that I intended to put in there with the other wintertime greens and didn't get in there. And cedar's a wonderful greenery because of the fragrance of it, and it has a very arching, drapey feel to the edge of an arrangement it's really wonderful. Boxwood is one of the greens that's used very commonly in flower shops. I want to say especially in the wintertime, and it lends itself very, very nicely to wintertime arrangements. It's very, very similar to the next greenery that we're going to have on the slideshow. Variegated Oregonia is very similar in the leaf size as well as the way the branches orientate themselves to the stem as boxwood. There's regular Oregonia and there's variegated. The variegated has these beautiful creamy yellow edges, and the regular just has solid green. It's just solid green. Green trick is a type of dianthus. Dianthus is the Latin name for all of the carnations. And green trick dianthus has a very similar feel to a clump of round, vibrant moss. It looks a lot like a 2 or 3 inch wide clump of mood moss. So it has like a very hairy, feathery kind of look to it as compared to regular carnations. And it runs around $2 or $3 a stem, depending on the season. Plumosa fern is a fantastic greenery to use when you want a soft, billowy effect in a bouquet or in garland or in bridal work or really any application. The only thing about it is it has some tiny thorns, so you have to be careful or wear gloves when you're working with it. It also sheds. That's one drawback about it, but it's very charming because it does have that very light, airy, ethereal feel to it. Gloriosa lilies are a rare and special flower that are used only in high dollar arrangements in the floral trade. They run anywhere between $15 and $20 per stem, and you might only get 2 or 3 blossoms per stem. And they all follow the same color pattern. Stephanotis is a small star-shaped white kind of waxy flower that's very fragrant. It used to be used very commonly in weddings, but I haven't really had very many brides ask for it in the last several years. The blossoms are about an inch across, and usually what you do is you buy these special hydrating stems that you poke up the bottom of the Stephanotis and then stem tape it so that it stays hydrated in a bridal bouquet. Gardenia is a remarkable flower due to the lovely, intoxicating fragrance of the blossoms. I don't sell that many of them because they run around $22 per blossom, and they come in a 3-pack. So if I order them from the flower market, we have to get 3 of them, and you don't often find somebody that wants to get 3 at a time. But they, like I said, they do run about $22 a stem. They actually don't come on a stem. They come just the blossom, and the blossom browns and wilts in a couple days, but they're very worth it just because of the wonderful fragrance. It's just, there's nothing like it. And so this concludes slideshow 7 of 9. So we'll see you guys soon.